Ramkrishna Bajaj National Quality Awards and the IMC Juran Quality Medal. Thank you all for joining us in celebrating the 25 years journey. We welcome the dignitaries on the dais, our chief guest Mr. Harsh Mariwala, Chairman Marico Limited and CMD Kaya Limited. We have with us our President Mr. Juzar Purakiwala and our Vice President-elect Mr. Anand Singhania. We have Mr. Neeraj Bajaj, Chairman of the IMC Ramkrishna Bajaj National Quality Award Trust, and Mr. Suresh Shura, Co-Chairman of the IMC Quality Improvement and Technology Committee. And we have with us our Director General, Mr. Ajit Mangrokar. Thank you all for joining us and being here for this momentous event. Thank you. So may I request all to please rise for the national anthem.
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे
Mr. Juzar Purakiwala, President IMC Chamber of Commerce and Industry, may please deliver the welcome remarks and felicitate our chief guest, Mr. Harsh Mariwala, Chairman Marico Limited and CMD Kaya Limited. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Chief guest, Mr. Harsh Mariwala, Mr. Anand Singhania, Mr. Neeraj Bajaj, Mr. Suresh Shura, Mr. Ajit Mangrokar, and Dr. K. Sevan from the Space Research Station here. On behalf of the IMC Chamber of Commerce and Industry, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome all of you to the IMC RBNQ Award ceremony. We congratulate the IMC RBNQ Award Trust on completing successfully 25 award cycles. We will be witnessing the presentation of the 2021 Milestone Merit Recognition and IMC Ramkrishna Bajaj National Quality Awards. The 2021 IMC Juran Quality Medal will also be presented. My heartiest congratulations to all the award winners and medal winners. A warm welcome to our chief guest, Mr. Harsh Mariwala. Mr. Mariwala, as we all know, leads Marico Limited as its chairman. He is also chairman and managing director of Kaya Limited. Mr. Mariwala's passion for innovation enthused him to establish the Marico Innovation Foundation in 2003, which works towards nurturing innovations in India. In 2012, Mr. Mariwala started Ascent Foundation, a peer learning entrepreneurial platform, Sharp Ventures in the family office of the Harsh Mariwala family. He also founded the Mariwala Health Initiative in 2015 with the philanthropic aim of giving back to society. Sir, we appreciate your time with us. The IMC Ramkrishna Bajaj National Quality Award Trust was instituted with the help of the House of Bajaj in 1995. We are happy that Dr. Bajaj family is here with us this afternoon. The award was named after late Sri Ramkrishna Bajaj, one of the most respected captains of Indian industry. He was more of a statesman than a businessman. For him, being part of a nation-building process was as important as running his own business empire. On a personal note, I may want to mention here that when I was a student in my pharmacy college back in the 70s, I was allocated a Bajaj scooter, which came after 2 years. And believe me, I used it for 4 or 5 years without any quality problems. What I want to mention here is the quality of the, in those days, I'm sure the Bajaj family here will know that it was impossible to get scooter or car in those days. And things were sold at a premium. So it was very easy for the Bajaj family to undermine quality, do cost cutting, and yet the scooter would be sold. But that was not the case. And that is why we have seen today, quality is so important that companies like Fiat and Ambassadors have gone on the wayside, but the Bajaj has remained through innovations and product introductions has a glorious journey since date. So in today's environment, I think quality is a given. In a competitive environment in which we all live, every industry or whichever industry you may be in, I think quality is not to be, as a matter of fact, to be discussed. It has to be there. If it is not there, the customers are sure to go somewhere else. So the IMC Juran Quality Medal is the most prestigious recognition for an individual who has integrated the tenets of quality in his personal self and being, in his thoughts and actions, in his philosophy and values. The award has the distinction of being named in the honor of late Dr. Joseph and Juran Quality Guru. We are happy to say that the 2021 IMC Juran Quality Medal for Individual Excellence has been bestowed on Dr. K. Sivan, Vikram Sarabhai Distinguished Professor, Department of Space, former Secretary, Department of Space, former Chairman, ISRO. We are extremely grateful to you, sir, for accepting this highest individual recognition. Heartiest congratulations to all the winners of the IMC Ramkrishna Bajaj National Quality Award for 2021. It is truly a remarkable achievement for organizations to perform against the IMC RB NQA criteria for performance excellence. A brief word about IMC, as we all know, it's a 114-year-old organization where Mahatma Gandhi was the original honorary member. We have about 2,000 members, 150 trade associations, and almost 200,000 direct and indirect members associated with IMC. Before I request Mr. Neeraj Bajaj, Chairman, IMC Ramkrishna Bajaj National Quality Award Trust to speak, I would like to felicitate our chief guest with an e-certificate of a garden of 50 trees at Bajaj Bhumi, Uttar Pradesh, planted by the NGO Pariyavaran Mitra, and a memento to show our enduring respect and regard for him. Thank you.
Our chief guest, Mr. Harsh Mariwala, IMC Juran Medal recipient Dr. Sivan, President Mr. Joseph Turakiwala, President-elect Mr. Anand Singhania, Mr. Lulla, Mr. Ajit Mangulkar, award winners and distinguished guests. On behalf of the IMC Ramkrishna Bajaj National Quality Trust, I extend a warm welcome to all of you. We are extremely honored to have Mr. Harsh Mariwala, the IMC Juran Quality Medal awardee of 2019, as our chief guest. His successor for the IMC Juran Medal 2021 is Dr. Shivan, and as we know, is the Vikram Sarabhai Distinguished Professor, Department of Space, and former Secretary, Department of Space, and former Chairman ISRO. A warm welcome to Dr. Shivan. So in the past 2 COVID years, we continued our mission by migrating to the virtual space with success. But I must confess, I'm delighted we are meeting once again in the real space in our silver jubilee year. It is a proud moment for us to celebrate completion of 25 award cycles. As you are aware, the Trust recognizes performance excellence. We have 3 broad categories: organization excellence, the recognition of multiple maturity levels against the IMC RBL criteria, and that's the award, the excellence trophy, the certificate of merit, and the commendation certificate. Then there is the individual excellence, recognition of a benchmark quality and reliability driven leader or statesman. The IMC RBL criteria are world class. In order to encourage organizations to try me, we have introduced a limited engagement option. Organizations can now choose to experiment in any one of the 6 categories of the IMC RBL framework. The organization that scores the highest in each category receives a milestone merit. The key differentiators of the IMC RBL are quality of examiners and quality of our feedback reports. This has enabled us to leave footprints in the Asia-Pacific region. I'm glad to mention that for the last 19 years, recipients of the IMC RBL awards have without a break gone on to win the Asia-Pacific Global Performance Excellence Award in various categories. Further, several potential applicants first sent a contingent of managers for examiners training and certification. This is a correct approach for adopting the performance excellence criteria. On behalf of the Trust, I wish to thank our 1,200 plus examiners who have made possible the whole assessment process to be truly transparent, rigorous, guiding, encouraging, and most importantly, ethical. Our heartiest congratulations to all the award winners. I would like to encourage all milestone merit organizations to apply for the IMC RBL 2022. As was said, our IMC Juran quality medal is unique. It was for the first time that Dr. Joseph Juran, the quality management legend, agreed to lend his name for an individual excellence award. Yes, it was with IMC RBL Trust. He appreciated the values of Sri Ramkrishna Bajaj. Dr. Juran articulated the criteria for the IMC Juran quality medal. Mr. Harsh Mariwala passed the test in 2019. Dr. K. Shivan has passed the test in 2021. Our sincere thanks to the IMC Quality Improvement and Technology Committee for mentoring the awards processes. I conclude with special thanks to Mr. Judar Kurakiwala, Mr. Anand Singhania, Mr. Suresh Dulla, and Mr. Ajit Mangulkar. With these words, I request Mr. Dulla to share his thoughts more specifically on green performance excellence. Thank you.
A warm welcome to all our guests, particularly Mr. Harsh Mariwala and Dr. K. Shivan. This is our 25th anniversary of the IMC Ramkrishna Bajaj National Quality Award, as well as the Individual Excellence Award of IMC Juran Quality Merit. Mr. Judhan Korakiwala and Mr. Anand Singhani, thank you for your support. All past IMC presidents have always actively engaged with IMC RBA process. Thank you, Mr. Shekhar Bajaj. You've come as a surprise for me today. And Mr. Ramkrishna, trustees of the IMC Ramkrishna Bajaj National Quality Trust. In fact, all the three Bajaj brothers are here today. Mr. Ajit Brulka, thank you for your continued support on behalf of IMC. I will now detour from formality to share how Mr. Harsh Maria and Mr. Bajaj catalyzed the quality of the IMC Bajaj National Quality Award model. We all know Mr. Bajaj is one of the promoter directors of the Bajaj Group. The Bajaj Group is among the top 5 businesses. My guess is it's in the top 3. They modestly say we are in the top 5. Did you know that Mr. Bajaj is a 4-time All India table tennis champion, as well as recipient of the Ramkrishna Award. He was India's highest sports award. I met Mr. Bajaj in 1991. Our quality management conversation converged on a Gandhian belief. Customer is the reason for your existence. One thing leading to the other, the IMC Ramkrishna Bajaj National Quality Award was granted. Thank you, Mr. Bajaj, for making quality happen in India. And I won't forget Mr. Shekhar Bajaj, who bullied me into setting up a quality improvement and technology committee in this presidency. Now, an informal introduction to Mr. Krishna. We all know he is founder and chairman of Pareto, a Fortune India 500 company. He is a distinguished entrepreneur who began his career in 1971 with Bombay Oil Industries, which was controlled by his family. Mr. Mariwala transformed his family's trading business in spices and edible oils into the consumer goods giant Marico, standing shoulder to shoulder with multinational consumer products in India and the Indian Ocean here. I had the good fortune of interacting with him during the transformation period and learned that the prerequisite for customer delight is internal customer delight. This, according to him, was non-negotiable. Thank you, Mr. Mariwala, for sharing your wisdom. It was a useful differentiator when we at IMC were designing the IMC RBNQA. In 93, 95, people like that. Over the years, organizations, particularly leaders, have seen merit in the model of the RBNK, primarily because we focus on internal customer exceeding external customer. This delivered higher revenues, lower costs, and in other words, better profit margins, resulting in competitiveness. We had winners of the IMC RBNK for more than a decade based on this edition of the IMC RBNK. Then came a speed wave. Organizations had to operate in a challenging environment. There was a job span, lack of relevant skills, farmer suicides, and more. We had to weave in practices that would address this challenge. How? We brainstormed. We brainstormed about how would the Gandhian Sri Ramkrishna Bajaj team have addressed this crisis? The answer stared at us. Community satisfaction. So the IMC RBNK model was updated. Community delight was a prerequisite for internal customer delight. Yes, the model was growing like an octopus. Since then, Maya Desai and her team have facilitated applicant organizations to interpret the IMC RBNK criteria with a social lens. Over the past decade, Mother Earth initially only hinted at dissatisfaction with humankind. More specifically, with respect to pollution, air, water, soil, noise. She got tired of being polite with humans about 3 years back. She screamed, "Is this quality? Is this excellence? Now face my wrath. Where is the green carpet on my soil? Where are the trees, animals, and birds? Where are my fish? Where is the clean water in my rivers, in my oceans? Why have you enveloped me with dark, pollution, poisonous clouds? Do you realize that your noise is driving me insane? You are destroying all forms of life that I had created. Now suffer climate change." Did you know, of all the different types of pollution, air pollution is the most dangerous? 92% of the world's population are breathing polluted air. So also birds, animals, and trees. Breathing polluted air kills 7 million people in the world every year, plus a large number of other forms of life. Some organizations that have adopted the IMC Ramkrishna Bajaj model had anticipated these chronic problems. They are ahead. A cement plant in central India has a rose garden around the plant. Is there a message? A fertilizer plant in North India has migrating birds from Siberia that come to rest on their journey to the south at a large pond at the plant. Is there a message? A carbon black manufacturer has a shiny floor all through the plant. Is there a message? These are applicants of the IMC Juran. These are just a few examples of green practices in action. We have many. We need to adopt green performance excellence to save the planet and win the blessings of Mother Earth. We, the IMC Quality Improvement and Technology Committee, are working on integrating these requirements in the RBNK criteria with the help of two senior examiners, Umesh Gunn and Suman Pai. Towards this end, we would welcome inputs from Dr. K.C., our awardee for the IMC Juran Medal 2021, on reliability engineering in green performance excellence. I'll be with you. Finally, we all know that transformation starts at the top. This has been a key core value of the RBNK for the past 25 years. It's not delegable. It has to start at the top. So we come now to the Juran method. Juran, Dr. Juran, Joseph Juran, was born in Romania. His father escaped from Russia in the time of the Tsar, and the family that gave them refuge had Juran on the border. They adopted a name. So Dr. Juran is not a Juran, he says. Now, the family migrated to Minnesota, where he started his career in abject poverty at a shoe shine door. And he worked his way through university and started advising AT&T on quality. The Emperor of Japan, post-Second World War, invited him to come and explain to the top management of Japan how to manage for quality. Years later, he established the Juran Institute, and they identified 12 in the world who could represent him. In 1987, I was the representative, one of 12 in the world. Since then, I kept asking Dr. Juran, let's name an award in Europe. He refused. It was almost 10 years of persuasion that he finally gave it. And so the IMC Juran Quality Medal is the first time he meant his name to any award. We have been presenting the award for the last 25 years, and that has been now packaged in a little booklet. I'd like to invite Mr. Mariwala to release the book. patient listening, and I hand it over now to Maya.
Thank you, sir. We will now begin with the award ceremony presentation, starting off with the Milestone Merit Recognitions for 2021. Milestone merits are robust, a great opportunity for potential RPNQA participants. The criteria are essentially the same as those for the corresponding criteria of the IMC RPNQA model for performance excellence. Milestone merits can be earned by any organization from any sector of any size. We begin the presentation. We call upon Mr. Rajiv Katyal, Deputy COO, and Mr. Ravin Khandaria, Associate Director from Global Indian International School, Banerghatta, Bangalore, to please receive the recognition in the leadership category. We request Dr. Geeta Fulari, Deputy General Manager Quality Assurance from Shankara Eye Foundation, India, Bangalore, to receive the recognition in the leadership category. We invite Commander Dr. Anil Rana, Director MIT Manipal, Manipal Institute of Technology, Manipal, to receive the recognition in the leadership category. Request Mr. Rajiv Katyal, Deputy COO, and Mr. Ravin Khandaria, Associate Director, Global Indian International School, East Coast Campus, Singapore, to receive the recognition in the Customer Focus category. We request Mr. Rajiv and Mr. Ravin to please stay on the stage to receive the recognition for the Global Indian International School, Dubai, in the safety category. We call upon Mr. Shailesh and Gorekar, Global Corporate Quality Assurance at Marico Limited, and Mr. Joseph Peter, HR Manager, Peruvian Plant, Marico Limited, to receive the recognition in the workforce category. We invite Mr. Rajiv Katyal, Deputy COO, and Mr. Ravin Khandaria, Associate Director, GIS, Noida, to receive the recognition in the workforce category. We request Mr. Shivendra Agarwal, Manager from Bharat Aluminium Company Limited, Korba, Chhattisgarh, to receive the recognition in Operations Focus. We call upon Mr. Rajiv Katyal, Deputy CEO, and Mr. Ravin Khandaria, Associate Director, Global Indian International School, Kuala Lumpur, to receive the recognition in Operations Focus. A very big thank you to all the winning organizations of Milestone Merit Recognitions. A big round of applause for them. Thank you. We now begin the presentation of the IMC RPNQ Commendation Certificate. Organizations have an effective and systematic approach deployed across the organization in varying extent against the RPNQ scoring guidelines achieved this level of recognition. We are proud to present the Commendation Certificate to SCF, Suryanagar Institute of Management and Mass Communication. We invite Professor Dr. Sanjay Chodia, Chairman, Suryanagar Institute, to please come up on stage to receive the same. We now present the IMC RBNQ Certificate of Merit 2021. Organizations have an effective systematic approach responsive to the overall requirements of the criteria and well deployed throughout the organization achieve this level of recognition. We call upon Mr. Rajiv Katyal, Deputy COO, and Mr. Atin Kandadia, Associate Director, Global Indian International School, Ahmedabad, to receive the Certificate of Merit in Education. GIS Ahmedabad is committed to educational excellence and has used innovation as an effective tool. Technology has been the backbone for GIS Ahmedabad. We invite Dr. D.C. Prashant Kumar, Manager Operations, and his team from Kaveri Hospital, Salem, to receive the Certificate of Merit in Healthcare. Kaveri Hospital, Salem governs the entire organization under the umbrella of clinical governance, wherein a systematic approach is followed in maintaining and improving the quality of patient care within the concept of integrated governance. We call upon Mr. Deepak Yadav, Management Representative from Shakti Pumps India Limited, Pithampur, Madhya Pradesh, to receive the Certificate of Merit in Manufacturing. Shakti Pumps Limited has highest standards of governance and business ethics and strives to achieve this by following professionalism, integrity, accountability, transparency, and social responsiveness. We now move on to the presentation of the IMC RBNQA Performance Excellence Awards 2021. Organizations having an effective and systematic approach responding to the, I would request silence please, responding to the multiple requirements of the criteria and deployed with no significant gaps reach this level of recognition. Organizational learning and innovation are key management tools. We call upon Mr. Kapil Sharma, CEO Designated, Adani Electricity Bombay Limited, Distribution, Mumbai, and his team to receive the Performance Excellence Award for Service. Adani Electricity Distribution demonstrates a dynamic leadership with a progressive outlook, displaying passion to excel in its business, ably supported by an energetic and well-engaged team consisting of a good blend of knowledge, maturity, and enthusiasm. We request Mr. B.R. Shetty, Chairman from Ban Sangha's S.L. Shetty International School and Junior College, Powai, Mumbai, to receive the Performance Excellence Award for Education. Senior leadership demonstrates commitment towards implementing vision and values and motivates employees in the organization. It has been able to establish a very good connect with customers and stakeholders for formation of policies. We call upon Mr. Kunal Shejale, Senior Vice President, Process Excellence, Information Risk Management and PMO from CTS Tech and her team from CTS Tech Healthcare Technology Private Limited, Mumbai, to receive the Performance Excellence Award for Service. CTS Tech Healthcare Technology is a leading provider of healthcare technology solutions, services, and a platform to global healthcare industry, including medical technology companies, healthcare providers, payers, and life sciences organizations. We invite Mr. Rajiv Katyal, Deputy COO, and Mr. Atin Kandadia, Associate Director from Global Indian International School, Abu Dhabi, to receive the Performance Excellence Award for the Overseas category. Global Indian International School, Abu Dhabi, demonstrates commitment of leadership to quality practices for developing strong children to be industry ready by introducing a lot of corporate learning tools in education, like quality circle projects as reflected in the participation and winning of awards internationally. We request Mr. Sunil Gupta, CEO, Aluminium and Power, and his team from Vedanta Limited, Jharsuguda, Odisha, to receive the Performance Excellence Award for Manufacturing. Senior leaders of the organization contribute to setting the vision, mission, values and culture through town halls, which are held quarterly for the senior leadership to connect with employees in order to reiterate the vision and mission and also to convey the future goals of the organization. We call upon Mr. Saptesh Sardesai, the CEO, Value Added Business, and Mr. Bajaj Bagere, Head Business Excellence and Asset Optimization from Vedanta Limited, Sesa Goa, Iron Goa, to receive the Performance Excellence Award for Manufacturing. They are a team of professionals who is forward-looking, futuristic thinking, and has clarity of vision and carry a good business acumen. Key drivers of critical success factors are cost per ton,
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Maya. The IMC Ramkrishna Bajaj National Quality Award Trophy 2021 Citation. Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited, BPCL, Kochi Refinery, is the flagship manufacturing unit of the group. It is a benchmark state-of-the-art refinery in India with a current capacity of 310,000 barrels per day, a national treasure. The primary products of this fuel-based refinery are liquefied petroleum gas, naphtha, motor spirit, kerosene, aviation turbine fuel, high-speed diesel, and asphalt. Significant and complex, with negligible customer complaints. In addition, the refinery produces specialty products exclusively for the domestic market. These products are of world-class quality, namely benzene, toluene, food-grade hexane, propylene, special boiling point spirit, mineral turpentine oil, sulfur, pet coke, and hydrogen. The best quality excellence practices of BPCL, Kochi Refinery, are a leadership-driven learning culture organization-wide, a leadership-driven culture of creative thinking resulting in disruptive, innovative solutions, structured benchmarking and adoption of new technologies, robust safety standards within the refinery, commitment to water conservation and rainwater harvesting across the refinery campus, effective and efficient knowledge management, a key differentiator, improvement in the quality of life of rural school children. We congratulate Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited, Kochi Refinery, for satisfying the best-in-class requirements for the IMC Ramkrishna Bajaj National Quality Award Trophy 2021 from the manufacturing category. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. May I request now Mr. Ajit Kumar from BPCL Kochi Refinery to say a few words.
Good evening. Respected dignitaries on the days, very distinguished guests. Really, we feel very privileged to get an award in the Bajaj name for the best quality management system what we have done in BPCL Kochi Refinery. The way the award was going and the way we answered the question, a 72-page questionnaire itself, it has given an opportunity for us to introspect what the best thing we are doing and where we are lacking and what we have to do more for the company in the future. As the image, it very clearly says, normally as Mahatma Gandhi said, we have to focus on the customer. When we have to focus on the customer to deliver the quality products, we have to encourage our internal customer to make that delivery to happen. So we have to have an internal system of quality assurance, and we have a system of innovations. Then only we can deliver the quality product. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We now move on to the highest level of recognition for individual excellence, the IMC Juran Quality Medal 2021. We are greatly honored to confer this medal to Dr. K. Shivan Vikrambai Saharavai, Distinguished Professor, Department of Former Secretary and Department of Sales, based former Chairman, ISRO. We request Dr. Shivan to kindly come on stage to receive the medal. We request our Director General, Mr. Ajit Pangrurkar, to please read the citation. Thank you.
The IMC Juran Quality Medal 2021 citation. Dr. Kailasa Vadivu Sivan is currently a Vikram Sarabhai Distinguished Professor. Earlier, he was Secretary, Department of Space, as well as Chairman, Space Commission. Dr. Sivan is popularly known as the Rocket Man of India. Dr. Sivan is a renowned scientist. He is respected for his determined leadership in developing and operationalizing the Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, launch vehicle fleet. His motivator, make India self-reliant in space. Dr. Sivan is the chief architect of 6D trajectory simulation software, Sitara, and day of launch wind basing DOL-WB strategy for ISRO's launch vehicles. These softwares are used in all ISRO's launch vehicle missions. He has 40 years experience in systems engineering for space transportation systems. He has led diverse project teams for large and complex projects for ISRO's launch vehicle programs. Dr. Sivan strongly believes that technology leaders of tomorrow have to be motivated and trained today. His Yuvika summer vacation training program was initiated to motivate school students to embrace science as a career option. Further, he regularly interacts with the student community to improve their awareness about space programs as well as that of R&D for national development. His professional expertise and technical knowledge have well been recognized globally, making India proud. Dr. Sivan is the current Vice President of the International Academy of Astronautics, IAA. IAA is a global forum committed to the advancement of aerospace science. IAA has more than 1,200 academicians as members from 83 nations. Dr. K. Sivan is a Fellow of Indian National Academy of Engineering, INAE, Aeronautical Society of India, AESI, Systems Society of India, SSI, Indian Systems Society for Science and Engineering, ISSE, Institution of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineers, and Indian National Science Academy, INSA. Dr. K. Sivan has co-authored an engineering textbook titled Integrated Design for Space Transportation System, published by Springer. This book has earned the IAA Engineering Science Book Award 2019. We salute Dr. K. Sivan, our winner of the IMC Juran Quality Medal 2021.
Thank you so much, sir. I now request Dr. Sivan to please share his few interesting stories that he will have for us. Thank you.
Most respected Harsh Masala sir, Chief Guest of the Day, Bajaj sir, Chairman, IMC Ramkrishna Bajaj National Quality Award Trust, Mr. Usar, President IMC, Mr. Suresh Lulla, he has explained nicely the green performance excellence, Mr. Anand, Mr. Ajit, and all the dignitaries in front of me is watching this function. So very good evening to all of you. I must thank Neeraj Bajaj, the chairman of this award trust, as well as the panel of judges, to select me for the prestigious award. I don't know why they selected me, but they selected. I must thank. It's a prestigious award they selected me. I must thank all of them for that purpose. I am extremely privileged and honored to receive this award for the commitment that the ISRO community is doing for the quality. They are striving very hard to the quality to ensure the success of the space missions. Why I am asking is this particular question, quality. What is the speciality of the space system? Is it something came from sky? No. It is a accumulation of the all conventional mechanical engineering, electronics engineering, material science, nothing else. It's only conventional engineering, science disciplines coming together. Then you can ask still why is the speciality? What is the difference? The difference between the space system and the conventional system, the difference is by one word, the quality. Why I am just telling is, when the space systems are functioning, it is functioning with extremes. Is the highest structural load the vehicle undergoes, the extreme pressure, that is almost 4-digit pressure, around 1000 bar the vehicle operates, an extreme temperature, that one side of a wall means around 0.4 millimeter thickness plate, sheet, one side it is having something like a 4000 Kelvin temperature, another side 20 Kelvin temperature. This type of the contradictory requirements should be met. Also the speciality of this the space system, basically a one-time affair. Most of the components is after fabrication, it cannot be tested on the ground. Straight away go to the flight and it will go in the flight only. And when it is going the flight, it should function as a first time itself, there is no second choice. So considering all these things, there is only two states in the space system, either success or failure, no other state. In Tamil they used to Vacha, Kudumi, Characha, Mata. Either 0 or 1, nothing else. So what makes this 0 to 1 or 1 to 0 is the quality. And because of this extreme environment, at the same time, to ensure that the space vehicle is realizable, it has to be very optimum. Each system has to be function in the flight as expected and designed. There is no other way. This lakhs of components should function as expected. If there is a control problem, in 20 milliseconds, the whole mission will be lost. This is the type of criticality. How we are achieving is through a systematic approach of quality engineering. And not only quality, it is essential to follow the reliability engineering methods to ensure the reliable products when we got. How we are achieving is these reliability engineering methods are being used not only at one point of time, throughout the product life cycle, design, manufacturing, operation and maintenance. Now, all the parts of the life cycle, this quality, the reliability engineering is being adopted. And because of this new technology we are using, that really, that ensures the success of the mission. There is a speciality of this one. Now, whether this reliability engineering methods, what we have been adopting, is it not possible to apply for other areas? Definitely we can apply. At present, this reliability engineering methods, what we have been using, is being adopted in the hospitals, and there's a lot of improvements they are seen. Similarly, these systems, these engineering methods can be adopted for many systems. Just now, Lulla sir was talking about the green performance excellence. I would say that this one of the best methods right now being discussed globally is use of the reliability engineering methods for achieving excellence in the green performance. How these reliability engineering methods are going to use? The advantage of reliability engineering methods are, it is in advance, it will tell, yes, there is a problem there, you please correct it. If the problem is already we have seen, at least it will tell where is the problem. If the system is on to make the system performance in line, again in the same methods will tell where is the problem we can improve upon. Or the system is to be initiated in a proactive way, the methods can be used this one. One such method, what I am calling, we have been using in the space system, is a root cause analysis method. This really finds out where the real problem already occurred or going to occur, or we are planning a new system, how it should be handled. In all three phases it can give, and solution also it will give. Now, what are the root causes in a process? It need not be on the product, it can't be on a business, it can be on a process. Anywhere we are talking about, there are three types of root causes. One is physical cause that really made the system to fail or really function, not functioning. That is a root, physical cause. Another one is that human causes. That is, the human can make a physical failure to happen. Third one cause is organizational cause. It is not the human cause, it is not because of that physical failure, the organizational, the business organization that made some mistake, that end up with the failure to the system. These are the three types of causes. Now, what are the types of the steps we have to follow in the root cause analysis method? The first one is we have to define the problem very clearly. The second step is to collect the data. Data can be collected through investigation, or it can be collected through case studies. Like that, get more and more data. And third step is identify possible causes, whether it's a physical or is a human or it is organizational. Like bring as many as causal factors. After that one, now you identify the root cause by a suitable root cause analysis tool. Then fifth step is implement and correct it. This step can be followed in any project, especially nowadays in literature. It is coming up a new strategy being implemented for green performance evaluation. Now, what are the root cause analysis tools? Again, 5 tools are available. The first one is the 5 whys. 5 means 5 numbers of whys. For any issue and problem, you have to ask why. But don't stop with the answer. Then you have to ask, even if you get the answer, you have to, but then why. This why process should continue 5 times. At the 5th time, you will get the answer. Suppose your machine or equipment is failing or is not functioning. Where the manager is going and asking why it is not functioning, that is a breakdown. Why it is breakdown? So it may be a component failure. Why the component failure is a quality related issue or wear and tear issue. Or if it is quality related issues, who has faulted? Whether the procurement section faulted or the original manufacturer faulted. Or if it is a wear and tear, this why it is wear and tear? Is it the maintenance team has not done the job? Now, why the maintenance team has not done the job? Is it because of this the setup is not sufficient to give? And whether the organizational problem, organization think that the setup is such that quality team to look into this aspect, maintenance team to look into that. This is they are not correlated. Like this, go on ask, you will get answer. That is one method. Second method is the changes method. That is, what are the type of changes can affect this system and how the performance will have. That in space system we call sensitivity studies. That will be a clue where the error can be there. The third one is root cause, the failure modes effect analysis. We deliberately makes the system to fail, to operate extreme environment. When such things are happening, not only one thing, there can be many other systems will get affected. This can be done, this will be seen. All these methods we use to adopt even before designing the system. Only the failure mode effect analysis is a very, very important thing that will show where the system's components can go wrong. That can be done, that will be done before designing, before starting the process. And the fourth method is called the fishbone diagram. The spine of the skeleton really is the problem, an issue, and the rib of the spine really giving the causes. That way we can analyze, it's a visual method. And the fifth one is Pareto analysis. It is a statistical analysis, and mainly it is giving most of the problem will be created by some few causes. So it is working on 80-20 principle. Maximum problem can happen only this one. This used to happen in the rocket. we used to see some failure, and there will be multiple reasons you can fail. There will be some combination of 2 or 3 or 4 type. But we used to find out what is the case where only one cause can lead to this failure. That will be the more probable failure cases. Like this Pareto analysis we can do, and like this, definitely this is one excellent tool we can adopt for making use of this the engineering method, the reliability engineering method for solving the problems for the green performance evaluation, or even when the system is online, how to improve upon the system, or when the system is not yet started in proactive way only, how best we can build the system so that we can reduce the cost. So with these things, definitely we can improve what Lulu sir is telling. Yes, we can achieve this method. And I must congratulate all the team members who got award for today. I must say all the members who got the award. I felt I'm the only odd man out. All others are same category, or I only the odd man out. And I must thank that jury and the Miraj sir to select me for this award. And I really thankful for the entire jury for selecting me. Once again, thank you, sir. Very well. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your very enriching speech. May we now request our chief guest, Mr. Harsh Mariwala, to please address us. Thank you.
So good evening to all of you. Dignity to the dais, Neeraj, Suresh, Juzar, Anand, and Secretary General. Ladies and gentlemen, and winners of all the awards. It's a great pleasure for me to be here in front of all of you. I have come here many times. My father was the president of IMC many years back. My grandfather in this company, Bombay Oil Industries. We had some other companies also. But everything was done by the family. There were no professionals. We had some family confidants. One of my father's teacher in the school was the general manager. Some other relatives were assistant managers and so on, you know. And we had the gaddi system in the office where people would sit down on the gaddi and write books of accounts. So here I go, young guy, you know, and my father said, "Now, you just go explore whatever you want to do." So we had set up 3 different businesses my father had set up, and he and his brothers. We had an edible oil business, which was mainly making coconut oil and refined oils in Bombay, but mainly sold to bulk customers and in bulk packs, on 15-liter packs to retailers, and retailers in turn would sell it loose to the consumers. We had a chemicals business made out of oils, oleochemicals, and we had a spice extracts business. And the whole business was managed by my father and my uncles. So here I was just given a task to explore. So in the first 1 year I must have visited all the factories and visited customers. And in that process of visiting and exploring, I realized it's edible oil business, which was unbranded, which was not doing well. Because in an unbranded business, what happens is the margins are wafer thin. And a lot depends on when did you buy the raw materials, did you buy at the right time. Some years will be profitable, some years will not be profitable. So I said that, can I convert this business from unbranded to branded? Separately, I am not a kind of person who would want to go to Delhi and get a license, and I'm not cut out for all that. So this shift of going to distributors in rural areas really helped me, because this was based on what I was good at in terms of exploring with the trade, exploring with the consumers. And luckily I didn't have to go to Delhi for getting any favors from the government or any regulatory authorities. So I visited interior markets, and I still remember going to interior markets of Maharashtra, Gujarat, and started selling the products which in small packs, coconut oil, parachute, and Safola. And I would actually go into the retail shops, sell products Many a times I would appoint distributor in smaller towns, stay with the distributor because there were no hotels there in towns like Varda, Amaravati, you know, and I'm talking of early 70s. So, but those were the days, I really enjoyed, because that process of making a sale yourself was really, I really felt good about it. So that's how the business grew. Over a period of time, the business did well. I expanded to all India and I must have visited each and every state and traveled extensively in those days. And as we went on expanding, I started recruiting talent. Through the sheer process of distribution expansion, we gained some market share. From a 0% market share, we went into almost 15-20% market share. But then I realized that, you know, we're hitting a kind of we are not growing. So how do we grow? And I think that time we realized that we should innovate. And the whole market for coconut oil was in tins at that time. We said that can we convert that market into plastics? Plastics is cheaper than tins, it's more convenient to use, and it's a little more attractive than tin also. So we said that we are winner on hands. We went to the consumers, they felt yes, they would prefer taking our product in plastics. But when we actually went to the trade, and we do a lot of consumer insighting, trade insighting before we launch the product, you know, the trade was vehement that we will not store your product, because apparently 10 years prior to us, somebody else had launched coconut oil plastics in a not a proper manner. It was a square-shaped bottle and a lot of oil on the outer surface of the plastic bottle. And when the retailer closed the shop and opened next morning, they realized that all the plastic bottles were eaten away by rats. And not only it spoiled the product, but it also spoiled their shops. So they said, nothing doing, you are not going to launch in plastic, we will not keep. But as entrepreneurs, you never give up. And I'm sure all the entrepreneurs here would agree with me that, you know, you just can't give up. You know, you have to find out alternate ways to convince, if you are convinced. So we went back to the drawing board, we went to our packaging vendor, went to our factory saying that, can you design a bottle which is difficult for a rat to bite? So that's how a round-shaped bottle came in. Our factories said no oil on the outer surface of the bottle, so the rats can't make out that there is coconut oil in it. All that was done. So then what's the next step? You know, we said we need to have proof that this is working in the market. So we actually filled some bottles and kept in a rat cage for a day. And luckily nothing happened. They couldn't bite it. And that gave us great confidence. We said, now this is something which we can leverage. So we took pictures and gave it to all our field force, saying that now show this to the retailers if there is a resistance. We are willing to give back. If there is a damage, we will compensate the retail not only for the loss of the product, but if there is any damage done to the shop, we will do that. And that's how the journey of shifting from tin to plastic began. It took almost 6, 7, 8 years for us to convert the market. Today the whole market is in plastics. But I think the key insight was, even in our branded commodity products, there are opportunities for innovation. And then there were multiple innovations in the packaging route. It come winter and coconut oil freezes in winter, so again we came out with a wide mouth plastic bottle. Then over a period of time the brand started getting very popular, so there were a lot of lookalikes and duplicates. So we said that what do we do about it? And then we identified a vendor in Europe which made a pilfer-proof cap, which was difficult to copy. The mold itself was about 2 crores in those days. So we said that we are winner on hands. Of course, it stopped all the copycats, but it was a matter of time. The Indian mold makers were able to make that mold at a fraction of cost. But that's not the question. I'm saying what I'm trying to say is that innovation has to be done on a perpetual basis. You cannot say that I've innovated and stopped. And I think that's been my journey. Whenever we look at a new product, first thing we said, are there opportunities for innovation? Or are there opportunities for pioneering concept? So how do you create a right to win in a highly competitive environment is a big, big challenge to all entrepreneurs. In our kind of businesses, it was innovation and pioneering. In some other business, it could be some patent. In a pharma business, it could be some technology. In some other business, in a service business, it could be something else. Like in a Domino's, they've innovated by condensing the delivery period. You know. So I think the key thing for any entrepreneur, if they want to enter a business, is to identify that what is the right to win? Is it innovation? Is it pioneering? Is it something else? And how do you go on improving on that on a perpetual basis? Because it is going to be a matter of time others will copy. And you have to be 2 steps ahead of them. So if I look back at my own journey in Marico, you know, whenever we've innovated, many times we have failed also, I must say. And innovation is coupled with failure. Every time you do not succeed, so do not be afraid of failure. That fear of failure should not haunt any organization or people working in an organization, because if that happens, people will stop taking risks. So risk taking is a very, very important part of innovating, failing. And I'll just give an example of, we also have Saffola brand, and 10, 12 years back, we identified baked snacks. That time there were no baked snacks under the brand name Saffola. And I thought that concept was very, very interesting. We launched a product in Bombay, not fried but baked. But being as a part of Saffola, the brand team went into the health aspects much more closely. It was very healthy but not as tasty. And our insight was that for a snack product, which is an impulsive purchase, you want to have a snack with a drink or with a tea, taste is the first thing, you know. Health comes secondary. The product didn't do well. We had to withdraw the product, but the learning from that was applied when we launched our Saffola Masala Oats. So Saffola Oats we launched about 5-6 years back. And again, a category which was dominated by multinationals like Kellogg's and Quaker. And we got about 15-20% market share, but how do we innovate in that market? So we said that, can we actually do what Maggi has done to noodles, can we do it to oats? So we launched a whole series of masala oats, but that insight, that taste is very important, it was at the back of our mind. So for every state we launched, we did a taste profiling of the customer, because tastes in each state is different, you know. Some state in, say, Andhra wants more spicy food, somebody wants, Gujarati may want something sweet. So we have a range of masala oats which is different in different parts of the country. And that product has done extremely well. It's almost like a, I think, 200 crore category in the last 4 or 5 years. We have 80% market share in that category. But that failure of baked snacks really helped us in terms of identifying and developing a product which appealed to the consumer. So I think I can go on giving many examples of innovation pioneering, but if I look back at our portfolio of products, in every product or every segment where we are present, we are market leaders. And market leadership is very important, because if you are a dominant player in a market, then you have the pricing power, especially in inflationary times. The market leader has to take the first step, because if you are a weaker player, if you increase the prices, then you will not do well in the marketplace. But as a market leader, you can take that step of increasing prices. So we have brands like Medicare, but we are only present in anti-lice shampoo. We acquired that Medicare anti-lice shampoo from Procter & Gamble. And we realized that in India, the shampoo, the oil usage is more than the shampoo usage, especially in rural areas. So as soon as we acquired that brand, we launched Medicare in oil format, and the sales just doubled within 1 year. So what I'm trying to say is that consumer insighting is very crucial to succeed in the marketplace, identifying the opportunities, developing a proposition, and pioneering innovation has played the most important role in my own journey. So a little later, when we wanted to go abroad, in early 90s, we said that Bangladesh is a big market for packed coconut oil. So we went and surveyed the market. The whole market was in prints. The market was dominated by Bangladesh local players. And we said that great opportunity for us to convert the market from tin to plastics. So whatever innovations we had done in India in plastics, we did the same thing in Bangladesh. And within much shorter time, because we are far more confident of our success in India in the same category of backward oil. We were able to grow much faster. Today we have an 80% market share in Bangladesh market. We are I think the largest Indian company in Bangladesh market. We are the only Indian company listed in Dhaka Stock Exchange. But what I'm trying to say is these innovations can be replicated in other markets. And I think the key thing for any entrepreneur to succeed is to go on innovating, pioneering, or whatever, depending on the kind of business one is in, to create that right to win on a perpetual basis. That right to win on a perpetual basis can only come with very good quality talent people. Because ultimately in an FMCG business, I didn't put up any new factories. I just converted the whole business from unbranded to branded without any capital investment. But all that happened because of the quality of talent. And the consumer product business of Bombay Oil Industries then got converted to Marico in the year 1990, and that gave me a great opportunity to recruit talent. One of my first employees was head of HR, because I said that I want to attract very good quality talent in Marico. We compete with the likes of Levers, Procter & Gamble, and many other multinational companies which have very good talent, and if we have to compete with them, we have to have that standard of talent. So he came on board, and he was convinced that I was on a professionalizing journey, that everything would work on merits. No amount of me saying that we will professionalize would have made an impact in the job market, but the fact that he was doing so, and he was XLRI and Asian Paints and many other good organizations they had worked for. So he talking that Marico is a good company to join played a very important role in attracting talent. Within a very short period of time, we got some like 40-50 senior managers joining us. So what happens when you have 50 people coming in within 6 months to 1 year from different backgrounds, from Indian companies, from multinationals, and each one was exhibiting a different behavior in terms of leadership style. Somebody would be very authoritarian, somebody would say that we should sack people who are not performer, somebody would say, let's reward loyalty. And that time I realized that if we have to work as a cohesive company, we need to have a very strong organizational culture. So how do you create a culture was a big challenge. I wrote down things which were dear to me in the first 15-20 years of my own journey, which appealed to me. I used to read a lot in terms of management books, interact a lot with management consultants, including Suresh then. And based on that, I had formed my own thoughts. And I was very clear that we had to create a company which was innovative, because innovation had played a very important role in my journey. So I wrote down a lot of my own thoughts in terms of what should be the values of the company. And then it got discussed with me and my team, and ultimately with many others down the line. The fact that we involved so many people in finalizing a value document played a very important role, because if I could have gone to a management consultant and told that these are our values, but when you involve people, you get their commitment. So we actually asked them that, please tell us what are the values which are missing. If you have anything to agree, disagree, tell us. And the fact that everybody got an opportunity through group work and things like that, I think in the top 30-40 senior managers, we had everybody owning those values. I think that played a very important role in creating a very strong organizational culture. So what is our culture? Our culture is very open. We talk to each other by first name. Actively encourage people not to wear suits or ties, because again that brings barriers. We have an open office, people can see each other. Everything happens directly. You need not go through the organizational channels to talk to anybody else, including to me. So we also used to have open house where we encourage people at all our locations, including all our factories, to ask any awkward question to the management, including their salary, whatever. We shared a lot of information with our own members. Also, the second value was trust. So how do you generate trust was a big challenge, and I'm talking of early 90s. We did away with muster in the office. We don't need a muster. We trust you. If you are absent, just fill in a form that you were not present. We did away with sick leave and casualty, because we believe that if you are sick, you're sick. We trust you. So we just had one leave. and everybody filled in their own expense statements without going to the boss. So many initiatives taken by the organization giving that signal that trust is a very important value. And so on. So meritocracy was also another value we had to say, because it was perceived to be a family-owned, family-managed organization. And when we shifted from Bombay to Marico, I had made it very clear that if somebody approached me for any favors, I will pass it on to somebody who's handling that particular part in terms of recruitment or agency. But beyond that, I will not interfere. Everything will happen by merits. So I think that's how we build a culture. So how do you build innovation in an organization is a bigger challenge. So we said that we need to have very good quality talent. And our organization structure should be very flat, so that communication is very easily possible in a flat organization. And we need to have diversity, because diversity brings in different thought processes. So with that, we recruited a lot of people, empowered them because of that organizational structure, and encouraged people to take risks. So whenever somebody made a presentation to me, for example, the brand president, they would know that I would ask the question, what is the innovation you plan? So there is a lot of top-down expectation. We have innovation awards, internal innovation awards for the company, where all the winners talk about how did they make that innovation happen. We encourage people to take risks. If somebody has taken a risk and failed, we don't punish those failures. Encourage experimentation. Many times risk can be reduced by prototyping it on a small scale, so encourage prototyping, experimentation. And I think the more risks we take, the more ideas we'll have. It's okay to fail. So that's how we have built up an innovation culture. So lastly, just to end my talk, I would say that I think governance plays a very important role in any organization. Many entrepreneurs think that we will only look at governance when we grow big, but that's not the way to look at governance. Now the whole subject of governance has got expanded to ESG, which Suresh was talking. And I think the key thing is from day one has to practice very, very high standards of governance. You can't say that I will do it when I grow big, because then you're sowing seeds of taking shortcuts down the line. And it's very difficult to change that kind of behavior when you grow up. So from day one, we have practiced very, very high standards of governance. To me, governance is just not compliance. It is much, much more than compliance. It is actually looking at all the stakeholders and not just, for example, I'm a promoter, but whenever there's a conflict coming in at my end, for example, I stepped down as managing director in 2014. We appointed a professional. Normally the tendency in Indian society is that you will appoint your own children. But I said that the thumb rule for me is that whenever there is a conflict between promoter and the company's interest should come first. So I said that okay, we'll promote a person who is working with us already, and he is managing director for the last 6 years. So I think the key thing is to identify and decide what is good for the organization comes first. Because if it is good for the organization, promoters automatically benefit. And the same thing for employees. I go on hearing that we have to reward loyal employees. I have a different viewpoint. If a very senior loyal employee is not effective, then it has a negative impact on the organization's performance. And it's better to tell that person to leave. Do it in a humane manner. I'm not saying that sack that person. Give that person time to improve. Ask that person to find out some other job. But it is better to disengage, because it is not in the organization's interest to have weaker performers, especially at very senior levels. So these are some of my thoughts on my own journey. And thank you very much, Neera. Thank you, Suresh.
Thank you, sir, for the great insight to your wonderful journey. We now request Mr. Anand Singhania, President-elect, IMC Chamber of Commerce and Industry, to please propose the vote of thanks.
A very good evening to all of you here, to our chief guest, Mr. Harsh Mariwala, our President, Mrs. Uzal Khurakiwala, Neeraj Chachaji, Mr. Suresh Lulla, Mr. Mangrulkar, the various award winners, senior members of the Bajaj family, our past presidents, and distinguished guests and friends. On behalf of the IMC Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I have the great pleasure in proposing this vote of thanks. First of all, I wish to express a sincere thanks to Mr. Mariwala for giving his valuable time to make this flagship event of the Chamber a great success. His inspirational talk, as you know, whenever you hear him, you can get new values in terms of how they have changed the organization. His talk on his wonderful life journey and experiences in turning the internal customer delight has been truly very eye-opening. He spoke about never giving up and innovating on an ongoing basis, not a one-off, but continuous innovation. I also like to thank the Bajaj Group and the members of the IMC who have generously contributed to the corpus of this trust. Needless to say, this is a worthy cause for those who have dedicated to quality. I add my words of congratulations to all the award winners and wish them to continue successfully in their mission in showcasing of best practices with other organizations in the country. Achieving high quality is not easy, and maintaining it is even more difficult. The space at the top is very narrow. So I think one of the awardees said, you have to continuously pursue it. I must thank all the quality professionals who served as examiners. Mr. Bajaj said over 1,200 examiners in the very elaborate award process. And the judges who have taken their time out and shown keen interest in the evaluation of all the award winners. Congratulations to Dr. Shivan, who for winning the very prestigious IMC Juran Quality Medal 2021. Dr. Shivan truly inspires us, not only all of us, but all the young minds out there today. He has inspired the youth to be the technology leaders of tomorrow. It's indeed a privilege to have bestowed on him the IMC Juran Quality Medal. I also had the pleasure of visiting the ISRO headquarters in February 2020, and it has put India on the radar, on the map of the entire world, what he has achieved at ISRO. When we asked him about his hobbies, it was quite evident that he eats, sleeps, drinks in the pursuit of quality and excellence, even on weekends. I'm particularly grateful to all of you for being present with us today to celebrate the success of winning organizations. Your participation signifies a commitment in the cause of making quality happen. Just one more thing, this book that was launched today, which has the winners over the years, each one of them have made a difference to the country and to their organizations in the pursuit of nation building. With this, I thank the press and media for their constant support. Thank you very much. Please join us for refreshments.
Request